This story comes to us from kdvr.com. Going back to Aurora, Colorado again, and I've covered this, but there's something I saw that new news came out about this just yesterday, and I was going through it, and there's a thing or two that I want to point out here. The Aurora police officer, Nathan Woodyard, the one who was acquitted in the death of Elijah Mcclain, will return to work because he was acquitted of all charges. He would now return as an Aurora police officer. Now, for some of you who go, I don't know who Elijah Mcclain is. If you really don't know who this guy is, I'll catch you up. So this young black man who's autistic and was really into music, he was a violinist, I believe. He was walking home one night. Now, he's autistic, so he had a ski mask on because he had a condition where he got cold real easy. And he was listening to music and waving his arms because he was doing his orchestrating. You know, he was into orchestra music. And somebody called and said, there's a black guy walking down the street acting weird, and he's got a ski mask on. Big felony, right? So the Aurora Police Department show up. They want to question him. He's like, I'm just going home, man. No. Someone called the police on you. Now we're here, and we're going to question you, and we're going to ID you. Why? Because we're cops, and that's what we do. When we get called, we ID you. Your rights go away when we get called. Anyway, to get to the end of the story, this young man, they started grabbing him, and he goes, hey, I'm an introvert. He ends up dead. He ends up dead at the hands of these cops and EMTs or AMR people. Just walking home, having fun, orchestrating his music with ski mask on, he ends up dead at the hands of the police. So this Nathan Woodyard is acquitted of all the charges. Now he gets to go back and be a cop again after all this. But it gets worse. Woodyard was suspended without pay from the department in September of 2021. He will also get back pay for all that time because he was acquitted. Now, after his suspension ended, he elected to reintegrate with the Aurora Police Department. Of course he did. They had his back. Of course he's going to go back there to the Blue Brothers and join them again. Dr. Thomas Mays, president of the Denver Ministerial Alliance, told Fox 31's Shaul Turner, Woodyard's decision will have a great impact, whatever the choice may be. His decision to go back and be a cop is going to have an impact on that community, especially those who are close to Elijah Mcclain. Dr. Mays says he can go on with his life. This family will never be the same. Our community will never be the same. That relationship has been destroyed. The trust has been destroyed. We call for him to be a man, step up and say, you know what? Thank you, but no thank you. I love my community enough to walk away. He's talking about Nathan Woodyard. If he was really a man, the Aurora Police Department offered him his job back. If he was really a man, he would say, no thank you. I'm not going to do it because this community probably doesn't want me as a cop anymore, and I'm going to respect that. No, he's going to go be a cop again and face these people after this incident. Innocent young man. What was Elijah Mcclain's crime? Walking home at night with a ski mask on. That was his crime. Apparently. And he was an easy target. He was an autistic introvert. Now, Woodyard was placed on restricted duty pending the next steps, which is the reintegration process. That means he has to go through updates and policy review, and they have to bring him up to speed. These are the new laws, and these are the new city codes, so forth. So he will not be in uniform and will not have public contact until he's brought up to speed. But then, of course, he will, you see. Don't be misled there. So according to the city, any civil service member on extended leave must reintegrate to bring them up to speed. And that's what I was just talking about, the policy changes and so forth. 2 other officers who previously stood trial for the death of Elijah Mcclain. Look at this. One of those officers, Randy Rodema, was convicted. And let's hope that he gets the Derek Chauvin treatment. Some of you might know what I'm talking about if you've read the news recently. While the other, Jason Rosenblatt, was acquitted. So out of 3 cops in the death of Elijah Mcclain, 2 of them are acquitted. One of them's going back to be a cop again, and the other one was convicted. Now, we don't know what Rosenblatt's going to do. He'll probably go be a cop too. He'll probably be skipping down. See? You can get away with anything you want when you got a badge. I'm sure that's what Nathan Woodyard is saying. You got a badge, you can do anything you want, man. I got acquitted, yo. But not Rodema. He was convicted, so he was the black sheep. 2 paramedics have also been charged in Mcclain's death. Their trial will begin with jury selection on Monday. How many want to rolling bet that because they're not cops, they're going to get convicted as well? But Woodyard and Rosenblatt, they're the golden boys of the department. They got acquitted. And Elijah Mcclain, and what really hurts me about this, and I'm done here, but what really hurts me about this, really hurts, and it does. When I read this, I teared up a little. Because this kind of means his life meant nothing. If 2 of those cops were acquitted, that means his life pretty much meant nothing. Them evil bastards, they could do whatever they want, and hey, you know what? He should have complied. If he would have complied, he would have been alive. That's what people will say. Why do you have to comply? He's just walking home. And people get upset when I compare law enforcement to 1938 Germany. You know what I'm talking about. The guy with a little mustache. Yet, you got this young autistic introvert kid just walking home, ends up dead, and 2 of the cops are acquitted. Now you tell me we have rights.